All right, good day, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to complete the remaining part of our Git program, and then we want to start from the task 2. And let's kick started. Let's launch our sandbox. All right, in here we will simply cd back to our root directory, and then we want to go back to our folder, that's a repository that contains our 0x01 Git. So for us to do that, we will simply cd into our ALX precursors, and then we cd into our 0x01 Git. Then we can play the screen. Let's see. And the first thing here is we are asked to create these files or these directories rather at the root of our project called bash c and js. Now simply you know how to make directories mkdir, and then you can create the three directories at the same time by simply typing bash space c space and js. Enter. Now if you list, you'll find out that we have the three folders at the same time. Okay, when you're done with that very first step, the next step here says create these empty files. C, the first C here you're seeing here is a directory, while the C is font.c is actually the file you want to create. So there are two ways to do that. First, you can cd into your C directory. You can see we're now in the C directory. Then you want to create that file called C is font. You now use touch C underscore is underscore font.c. Okay, we are done with that. If you list, you can see that we have the file right here in the C directory. Now let's go back, cd dot dot. It takes us backward. Now the next thing here is for us to create main.js into the JS folder. Okay, now simply I don't want to cd into the JS folder anymore. I can stay here to do everything I want to do. So I'll simply write touch. I want to write the file inside the JS folder, and then the file name is going to be, let's check that again, main.js. So I write main.js, enter. All right, then the next thing here we want to create is our index.js still in the JS folder. So we simply do the same thing, touch js, and then slash index.js. All right, so having done that, having have the JS, let's see if we actually have those files inside the JS folder. So for you to do that, you can simply type list. Now I want to find JS in the JS folder. I want to find the index.js. Enter. Because you can see that we have that file right there. Or we can simply say I want to list every file that is found in JS folder. Then you can see where we have the index.js and we have the main.js. That was pretty quite simple to implement. Now the third thing here we want to go down is create a file called ALX inside the bash folder. The bash is the folder and the ALX is actually a file you want to create. So I will simply touch bash slash ALX. Now, the next thing says with these two lines inside. But let's not do this first. Instead, you're going to start with the second one, bash slash cool, because this is still a file. And these are documents that will be written inside our codes. These are commands that will be written inside the file. So let's finish with the files before we go for the commands inside the file. So we simply create our top again, bash slash cool. Okay, we are done with that. Now we are asked to write these two lines of codes inside the ALX file. So we can use Emacs, we can use VI to do that, or we can use echo, three ways. But let me use Emacs because I'm very much familiar with Emacs. You can use VI, it's very simple. So let's try to use Emacs. We now type Emacs and then the bash folder. Inside the bash folder, I want to write it into the ALX file. Okay. Now it's going to open the Emacs environment for you. So in the environment, you want to write these two codes, bin, bash, and the echo, and the ALX. Don't write the echo, just write the ALX alone. So very simple. Let's just copy this one. You can choose to type, you can choose to copy. So let's copy that and then paste it right here. Then enter key. Go to the second one, copy the ALX. We copy it right here. You can choose to type, remember you can choose to copy. Then we paste it here and then enter. Note, if you are using Emacs, after the ALX, you must hit your enter key. But if you are using VI, after the ALX, don't hit your enter key. If you do that, the checker won't check your code. That means you're having 3 lines instead of 2. Now we can save this, Control XS, Control XC. We are done with that. Let's see if we actually have that file there. You can use stats /ALX, enter. Oh, we can see those 2 lines right inside here. Okay, that was the first method. In this second method, we're going to use echo to write those commands inside. And the next thing here is for you to create these 2 lines inside the bash/cool. So let's use echo to do that. First, you type echo. Now, after echo, where do you want to save your file to? Or what file do you want to save rather? I want to save the first one here is called the same bin bash. So I'll use a colon, then type /bin bash. I'm so sorry about that. You are running into a network interference again. So simply refresh your page if you have this experience. And then let's go back to the folders. Okay, and then we actually wanted to write the last command, which is writing this command inside the school file. So we want to use echo. We write echo colon, then /bin bash. That's what we want to write. And then we will send this. You use the greater than sign. We're going to send this into the bash/school. So we simply type bash/school. Okay, we are done with that. The second line here is we're going to write school inside the same file. So we write echo again, echo, and then school. You can choose to use a colon or a quote. It doesn't really matter. Okay. Now, when you want to write another line of code into an existing content using echo, you're going to use 2 greater than sign. If you use 1, it will overwrite the content. That means it will delete the first content and then write only school, right? So ensure you use 2 greater than sign when you're writing another line into the file. So we call it bash/cool. All right, enter. Now let's see we have this file inside the directory. So we can cat bash and then enter. Sorry about that. We can cat bash/school. And then you can see these 2 command lines inside. Now let's look at the next thing. After that, you're expected to git add, git commit, and git push. So very simple. I'll write my git add dot git commit minus n. Let's see if we have a message to use. Okay, the commit message says starting to code today, so cool. Ensure you have capital letters when necessary. So I'm gonna use starting to code today, comma, so cool. I think that's what they gave us. So cool. Enter and then git push. All right. We are done with that. When you're done, simply come here and check your code, and that is done. All right, let's go to the next one. The next one here to say a branch is like a copy of a project. It is used mainly for adding a feature in the development, collaborating on the same project with others, and the rest of the story. Now, in this very aspect, you're going to create a branch. What is a branch? A branch is just a subset of your main branch. let's say a branch is like a tree. You know, we have a tree, like the body of the tree. When you go up to the tree, you have different branches. Use that same scenario right here, where people can work in different branches. When you're done, you bring it together. That's collaboration. I'll explain as the video rolls. All right, let's start. Let's clear this one. Okay, the first thing here is, for this project, create a branch name of the script. Right, let's start with that. Now you want to create a branch called of the script, and for you to do that, you will write its branch, then the name of the branch you want to create. That is what? Updates script. Enter. And for you to find out if you have created that branch, simply type git branch. Enter. Now you can see that you have two branches. The master. Sometimes your own may be the main, so it doesn't really matter if it is master or main. Whatever it is, use. Before now, Git were using main, but now they're using master as the original branch. So don't panic if you're seeing master here or you're seeing main there. It doesn't countersize your work. All right. Let's look at the second line. The second line says create an empty file named bash/c. But before this, you must ensure that you change your branch from the master or your main to update script. So how do we do that? You simply type git checkout and then the name of the branch you want to check out, and that is supposed to be update script. Now note something. Your master is the active branch. Now that's why you're seeing it's stuck with green. Your update script is a branch, but it's not active. So if you write anything here, it's going to be pushed to your master. But I want it to be pushed to my update script so that I'm trying to check out to update script. And I hit enter. Now you can see switch to branch update script. So if you check again, it's branch, enter. You can see that the update script now takes the default position. All right. Now in the update script, you are expected to create a folder or a file rather by name bash/98. So that's simple, touch bash/98. Enter. We are done with that very line. The next line here says update bash/ALX by replacing the ALX with ALX school. So we can simply do that by using Emacs or VI, depending on the one you normally use best. Bash/ALX. Now when it opens, we are going to change ALX to ALX school. So here is the ALX, just come down here and then add school to it. And then hit enter. No, sorry, we don't need to enter, just save it. We are done with that very task. Then the next one here says the next line says you should update your bash school by replacing school to the school is open, an exclamation mark. So we can now write Emacs bash/school. Okay. When it opens, we now go to line 2. You can delete this one off, and then we want to type the school is now open with an exclamation mark. Let's confirm if we have the exact spelling and the correct capital or lowercase characters. Yes, that's cool. So we can save this and exit. Let's go back. Now the next thing is that you should add and commit these changes with the commit message, my personal work, to your GitHub. So let's do that quickly. Git add dots git commit -n my personal work. Hit enter and then git push. Okay, now when you're done with this, it's gonna send you a memo that you should set your upstream. Just type exactly the commands you're seeing right here, exactly the commands. So you have git push --set upstream origin update script, then enter. Right, you're done with that very task. You can see it has pushed to our update scripts in our GitHub account. And the next thing here is perfect. Well, you did an amazing update in your project and it's isolated correctly from the main branch. Oh, wait, your manager needs a quick fix in your project and needs to be deployed now. And the first instruction here says that you should change the branch to main. Note, yours may be master. So let's play this first. We want to switch back to master, so we have git check out master. Now let's switch back to master. Let's confirm that by simply typing git branch. You can see the master now have their default parameters. All right, so now we want to go into this very file to update the content of the ALX file. We will simply use emacs /ALX. Enter. Then from here, we are asked to change the ALX to ALX cool is so cool. Note the ALX capital and the S right here is capital. We simply do that by coming here and then adding to this ALX cool is so cool. An exclamation mark. You can save this and exit. All right. The next thing here is for you to delete the directory called JS. So you know how to do that. Simply rm that's remove the directory JS and then enter. Well, failed to remove because there are some content in that JS. So for you to do that, you're going to use rm remove the files in there recursively. That's the meaning of the -r, and then you have the JS. Enter. The JS is gone. All right. You can list to find out if you still have the JS. You can see the JS is still more there. And the next thing here is commit your changes with the message hotfix to your GitHub. So we can do that. Git add dots and then git commit -n hotfix, and then we have our git push. Okay, we are done with that very task. So you can simply click on check your code and everything is really fine. Okay, let's hit to the next task. The next task here and the last task from the mandatory part says that you should collaborate, be up to date. And now the question says, of course, you can also work on the same branch as of your co-worker. For this task and only for this task, please update your README file in the main branch from your GitHub. That means you're going to your GitHub account to update your README file to something, anything you like. All right, let's do that. Before then, let's just clear this one. Now we want to go into our GitHub account, so I go here. Right, in my GitHub account, I will now open my 0x01 file, and then let me just change this README file from I have changed my README file to something else. Let's have, this is my new README file. Okay, then you come down here, click your commit changes. We're done with that, and let's go back to our question. The question says, get all changes of the main branch locally. That is, your README file must be updated. So let's see how to do that. Let's confirm if we are actually on our main branch. So we have git branch. Yeah, we're on our main branch. So for you to get our file back, we will use git full space origin master. Enter. Now everything has been pushed back to our local system. If you want to find out if that is done, just list. And then let's check the README file, the content of README file by using cats readme.mv. You can see this is my new README file. That's what we've actually changed on our GitHub account. This is my new README file. Okay, so that is done. We're done with that very task. The next thing here is create a new file called up-to-date at the root of your directory, and in it write the git command line you used to get your files locally. So I go back to my project and then go back to my root directory, cd, let's go back and check what was given to us. Now look at this. This place had a little confusion. Create a new file called update at the root of a directory, and in it write the git command used, and then you're supposed to push everything back to GitHub. Note that your root directory in this aspect is not your cd, the one we used all this while, but rather you are going to the root directory of your repository, which is your ALX free course. I hope that is understood. So we get back to our terminal, and then cd, you can cd back and then cd into your ALX free courses, then enter. This is the root directory that you will change that, or you create that file. So we create the file, the file or a folder. Let's find out. So we create the file touch up to date. All right. And from updates, you are asked to write the command that was used to push this, or to pull those commands back to your, to pull those files back to your system. And the command was git pull origin master. So we simply come back here and then echo git pull origin master. Then you're sending this to the file up to date. Enter. The next thing here on our question, our task is add your up to date to Git, commit with the message how to be up to date in Git, and push to the origin. Okay. So with that, we use our Git add. Oh, so sorry about that. I lost my network again. So let's just refresh the page once more time. Right, let's cd into our ALX. All right, so we wanted to push. So we have your git add dot git commit minus m. The message you're supposed to use is how to be update in Git. So we have that, how to be update in Git. I'm correct. How to be up to date in Git, I'm correct. Okay, and then we git push. Okay, everything is done. So we can simply come back here and then check our code. And then we are done for the mandatory task. I believe that was an interesting video we got here. Just try to work on this advanced tasks. My next video, I'm going to show you how to do this in a very simple step. Thank you for having me around, and subscribe to this channel for more opportunities and more solutions to your problems. Bye for now.